right, team. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of Gar Capital. Happy Black Friday. Happy day after Thanksgiving. Happy day to everybody that has a day off from their job today, enjoying their holiday with their family, maybe preparing some leftovers from last night. All good. I'm in a very good mood because the Cowboys won. So there you go. I'm smiling. Thankfully, we got a home win for the first time this year. But good to see the Cowboys beat the Giants. It's always nice to see. Well, with that being said, good morning, everybody. Glad to be with you. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel and our Instagram Live. We are verified on Instagram, so make sure when you're speaking to the right Gar Capital, it's the correct one with the blue check mark. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, football, family, and feasting. What more could you ask for? In terms of the stock market overnight, not much happening. Again, keeping an eye on everything. What I'm really watching is Bitcoin, so we're going to dive into that here in a second. But before we begin, let's go ahead and start with the market itself. Futures are open. Dow futures are up 85 points and the S&P 500, let me go ahead and switch this up. Here we go. The S&P 500 is up 0.14% at 6023. The Nasdaq's up 0.10%. The Dow is up 81 like I said. 10-year treasury yields pulling back a little bit, 4.203% on the yield. Dollar index is pulling back too, 105.95. That's a really great sign. We need that dollar to come down. The VIX is up slightly, even though stocks are up. We had a little bit of a pullback from the overnight highs on the Nasdaq, 1.15% on the VIX. The Russell, small caps still kind of running, doing very well, up 0.64% this morning. Crude oil is up 0.65%, 69.18. $1.94 for gasoline, up 0.63%. Hello. 26.83 for gold futures. That's up nearly 0.70%. Copper's down flat. Silver's up 2%. In terms of Forex land, the big one, big mover, 150.05, down 149 pips is the dollar yen. And I spoke about Bitcoin just about a couple seconds ago, 98,530. I said it before and I'll say it again. Holidays are for crypto. Obviously, I'm just having fun with that. But usually, again, can't really say scientifically, but when there is holidays, Bitcoin tends to bid. Again, the expectation or the assumption is that people talk about Bitcoin and how much they're running or how high it's gone since the last Thanksgiving or the last time you saw your uncles or aunts or whoever. Ethereum down 0.65% this morning, and that's where we are. Let's see. We'll start with the Bitcoin chart. Let's do that first. All right, we're going to expand this on the daily. Day looks pretty good. I just wanted to see the hourly, sorry. Okay, so a little bit of a cup and handle setup. I fully expect us to break 100,000 on Bitcoin futures rather quickly, if not maybe by the end of the day. Looks like we are prepping to at least tag those highs. So with that being said, on Wednesday, we went ahead and bought Mara calls. And Mara is a name that we spoke about here on the Morning Note, I believe that same day. We have the 28 calls. We're looking for that push. We did get a gap up on it slightly on the 1 hour, but 28 should be coming. Here's the difficult part of running a business. See, I have the business owner side where I want to be as conservative as possible for my clients, and I have the trader side who wants to make the most amount of money possible. So you kind of have those both fighting. For example, last week, Palantir hit 30% profit. We did not close. We held it for over the weekend. It was a great call. That thing hit 200%. Awesome. Micron hit 30% on Monday, I believe, and then it pulled back on Tuesday. We could have taken it for 30, but we were expecting a push higher. Didn't happen, unfortunately. So it's kind of the ups and downs of the market. Welcome to it. So Mara's kind of that similar situation. I fully believe we'll be in the money by today. The end of the session today in the market is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a half day. Remember that. So we're kind of against the clock here. Granted, the Mara calls that we have are for next week, but again, good volume. We expect this to break if we're above 30% in the morning. I'm going to let everyone know that we're there. And if you guys want to take it, have fun. But again, depending on the price action, I really want to hold this for next week because I really believe this setup here on Mara is going to get us a lot higher, which should get us higher returns on our option trade. Now, we do have a Black Friday sale, so we've had a lot of members join, a lot of new ones. And maybe the way we trade may be a little different than what you're used to, and that's fine. But if you're just starting out on our server, make sure to actually read the resources because a lot of your questions are right there that are pretty much answered. Welcome start here, rules of service, FAQs, and then you have the resources links as well. Announcements, we've had that due to fake accounts pretending to be me and fake Instagram pages. But now that we're verified on Instagram, obviously I don't have to worry about that, thankfully. But again, if you are someone that is new to the server, welcome, first of all. But make sure to go to the start here buttons and to make sure that you kind of read everything. I also got some videos on workshops and webinars, tons of great free resources. So let's say you're like, man, I'm not paying for no service or anything like that. That's fair. The blog or the actual server is free. So make sure to join in the server. And again, you get all this free news and information. You have the workshops and webinar, you have the breakout alerts, you have breaking news, the trophy room, and the live market blog. So again, don't feel the need that you have to buy anything if you want to be part of this community. Again, it's free for everyone anyway. So there isn't really a free trial when it's free for everybody, but we just have paid services. So again, everyone's different. If you want to take advantage of the Black Friday deal, I don't know the details exactly on how much percent off. To be honest, that's my marketing department. But check it out. We'd love to have you. The lifetime ones, those are pretty cool because we have a lot of lifetime members that are masterclass students, and some of them don't want to be taught and they just want to be part of the server for life, which is, I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, so I assume another 10. Why not? So not bad. I would hope you guys join that because that's pretty much the biggest vote of confidence in our service is people who are joining the lifetime service because we love to have you for life because we love doing it. All right. That being said, Mara. Mara, my target is 30. If we do run a little higher, we're going to get to 32. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how we open on Mara. Anything above 30, I'm going to let you guys know on the actual server, and you guys can make the decision if you guys want to close. Again, I got to see the price action first because a lot of things may change in the morning. Yes, a part of me just says, let's just take that 30 and we could be happy with something. But I really like this setup as well for more upside because I believe Bitcoin, it might be this weekend, to be quite honest, that we're going to break 100K. Remember the last time we tagged 100K? What did we have? We had a sell. Like I said before, weeks ago. Once we tagged that 100K, there's probably a lot of sell orders there. We went from 100K down to around 90K. So you're talking about a 10% correction in about 4 days, 5 days. So now we're bouncing. The bulls have defended that support level. We can use 90,000 moving forward. If you're trading it, if you're owning it, whatever you want. But again, 100K is on the way. I still fully believe a Santa rally is in play for the NASDAQ. Let's pivot to that. So last night, we were talking to the futures members. I did a radio meaning it was like a voice thing, live talk. So we were just kind of just shooting the breeze, talking about futures, talking about everything. I mean, even got to the point of talking about aliens. Hilarious. So of course, the members were asking, "Hey, are we going to go long? Are we going to do anything?" Fair. So last night we were talking about this 20,900 level. The 20,900 level did break last night, but we had that 4-hour 100 MA there and we broke above it. And I really, really were looking at getting into it for a long, but we waited, we were patient, and it reversed. So you can see now we're bouncing a little bit. I kind of like this level here as a buy level because we're seeing that 50 MA on the 4-hour being defended. Let's see if we get 20,900 again. And I believe if we get that one more break of 20,900, we should run to 21,000. 21,000 to me on the NASDAQ is inevitable. The question and where the money is when. So we want to make sure that we're not too early. We want to make sure that we're not paying too much. And we want to make sure that we catch the momentum. That's kind of the deal there. So again, being a short week, a lot of my futures traders have funded accounts where they trade proprietary accounts. So they can only trade same day. You know, they can't swing over the weekend. So I kind of have to adjust how we do our futures trades to meet them, to meet their expectations and their needs. And that's really what the server is about. It's about finding what your needs are. Who cares what I make? It's all about what you make. So for those who are trading options, again, these are just signals. Again, we're going to tell you when to exit, sure. But again, it's really up to you what you want to do when it comes to those trades. Now, you can always hold, you can always close early, but again, signals are like green, yellow, red. That's pretty much it. The traffic sign is not going to tell you, exactly every single thing to do. But with that being said, we're going to help as much as we can. I am here. for the day until 1 p.m. Most of my staff is off today, enjoying the holiday because it's a half day anyways. So, again, I don't have tons of expectations today in terms of market action, but my eye is definitely on Mara. So we'll see what we get. Tesla's starting to bounce a little bit. Again, kind of sideways action, kind of chopped me up on my contracts. But if we get above 350, then we'll see what we get. But we need a big push there, and it just seems that even with the market being higher, it's just not quite enough. But 21,000 could be in play here, and I'm going to be watching that very carefully. Maybe we can catch 20,900 right above to 950. So maybe we can get a 50 pointer real quick. Again, really depends on that 4-hour 100 MA break. All right, let's answer some questions this morning. Roy Kane says, "Hey, boss. Good morning." Jacobo or Jacobo? I'm going to mispronounce that. How much higher do you think SoFi is going to go? Okay, let's take a look at it. We'll answer some questions on YouTube, and then we'll go back and forth with Instagram. All right, we're going to go to the weekly chart. Here's your next target, 1652. That's where I have my alert. We're going to have to maximize here. And then if you do break above that, this chart looks very similar to one other stock that has done very well. And its name is Palantir. And they're both, well, at least Palantir used to be a smaller cap stock, part of the Russell and everything. I believe that SoFi is going to get to 20. You're not going to just get in one shot, but a break of 1652 is big. So we could do from 17 calls to around 20, depending on the time frame we're looking for. So 20 would be the next target on SoFi if you can break 1652. Jacobo says, "Thank you." You're welcome, man. All right, let's go to Instagram and see if we have any questions. Again, I didn't expect tons of people watching or anyone being up this early, day after Thanksgiving. Everyone's probably asleep, but here we are, rock and roll. Same. Good morning. MSTR, here we go. MSTR is up this morning, gap up, very similar to Mara. Mara is not as expensive to trade. MSTR is a little more expensive to trade. I have a student of mine. His name is Teddy. He was hitting me up regarding MSTR, and he's been crushing it. And he was like, "Man, I wish we could signal it," but he knows it's just way too expensive. And that's kind of the handcuff we have. The idea is when we find option signals is to find it where it's affordable or at least accessible for everybody. There are just some stocks out there that are just too darn expensive for everyone to trade, and I don't want everyone to miss out either. I want everyone to have the opportunity. So MSTR, again, looking at it here, holding above the 20-day, so that's a good sign. But in terms of any kind of edge here, yeah, 450 would be my next target. But I want to break 420 first. I just think Mara is going to be a cheaper way to play the Bitcoin push. Again, you always have BITO as well. BITO is at 17 cents up this morning. That's probably going to get to 27. We traded that twice last week. This week, we're going to do Mara. So again, I fully expect us to catch that this morning. But MSTR looks fine. I think above 418, 412, and then you can get to 450. What's the best dividend stocks you'll recommend for 2025? I'm going to make life easy for you when it comes to dividends. You have two options. One, just buy an actual dividend ETF. SPYD, SPYD, is the best dividend paying stocks in the S&P. It's a low expense ratio, meaning money you have to pay or money that's taken out of your gains. And you also have the dividend aristocrats. Go ahead and Google dividend aristocrats. All those that have been paying for like 50, 60 years, Philip Morris, Pepsi, Coke, those are the guys that are going to be the consistent one. Genuine Parts Company, no one talks about that company. It's Napa Auto Parts. Everyone is all about chips and all that stuff. I get it. But there's a lot of great companies that provide a lot of shareholder value as well. What thoughts on Dell trading below RSI at the 3-month? Yeah, Dell, I put it on my list. Again, we'll go over that on the weekend video. I was doing some picks. Some guys like guesses in terms of how earnings was going to run, and I thought Dell was going to be higher, but it did not. Let's take a look at the daily. Okay, here's your money line, the 122.56 level. As long as you hold above there, you're going to fill this gap to 140. How do I know that? The last time we had a major gap in terms of earnings or even headlines, if anyone remembers, was CrowdStrike. And boy, did everyone hate this name. And what happened? That gap that we felt first initially eventually got filled. It only took 3 months. So again, timing is everything, as we know. But as long as Dell holds the 200 day, I think you stay long the name. I have knowledge about markets work, but I'm new to the US markets. How do you recommend I go about it? Well, you got a couple of ways to do it. You can always follow us on Gar Capital on our Discord. And again, we put news out there, great articles that you guys can read, CNBC, Bloomberg, all that such. And again, the more repetition you have of reading regarding the news, it's going to make you want to research it yourself. And really, learning is based on, my opinion, inspiration. You have to be inspired to learn. If you're just thrown into a classroom, we know what it is when you're a kid. You're not going to want to learn. You're just counting down the hours. But if you start reading enough, something that generates interest, you're going to get up and you're going to start putting your own effort into learning yourself. You know, I know it's going to sound kind of weird, but making money isn't quite enough inspiration to want to learn. You have to really have this sense of passion towards the goal that you want to achieve, but money isn't enough. So let's say you're on the server and you're reading and you say, oh, well, what does VIX mean? And then you start Googling it and reading it. Think of it this way. It's like reading a book and you find a word that you really can't pronounce or understand and you need the definition. I guarantee you, the second that you open that dictionary or thesaurus and read that word and that definition, you will never forget it and you will use it in your speech or anytime you're having a conversation. That word will pop up. It's kind of the similar approach to learning that I'm talking about. Like, you have to want to learn. So again, start small. Start reading about the things that you're interested in first. If you're interested in semiconductor stocks, stick with that. And then use that time that you're putting in to expand your knowledge. Maybe you start getting into technical analysis. Maybe you start getting into fundamentals. Maybe you start getting into macro. Maybe you start getting into dividend stocks. But start with something that you're really interested in. Let's say you're somebody that loves UFC. Well, take a look at Endeavor. Endeavor is the owner of UFC and WWE. You can start reading their balance sheet. You can start reading about their fundamentals. You can start reading about their charts. Again, it always starts with one small bit of inspiration, and then that snowballs into something bigger. That's my best recommendation. Tesla, long or short? Let's see it. Tesla, I say long. Again, all we're doing is just chopping for the past 10 days. We have not much done. We're between 360 and 336. The major goal, or really the target, is right here at 400. Great. Thank you for the advice. I appreciate it. I'll make sure to join the Discord. Yeah, we'll love to have you. Again, it's a free community for everybody. Again, you're going to have tons of news and information for you to learn. We do have paid services as well. So again, you have a choice as always. You don't have to pay to be on the Discord. The idea was to create a community of like-minded individuals so we can just share and have a good time. There's a lot of negativity in social media. I get it. But this is a place of inclusion, letting everyone in, let everyone have their thing and enjoy themselves. That's kind of the deal, because markets inherently are boring. But if we can make it a little bit more fun, that's a good sign. Do you have your eye on any retail stocks over this holiday period? The last retail stock that we traded was Walmart, and that was a great one. It's very simple. It's Amazon. Yes, Amazon. Let's see where we get in the stock. But if we test 205 again, that's going to be support. But we're up 207. 209.06, you can target. Man, I don't want to say the 215s. That might be a little too much. Maybe the 212 and a halfs. I think that's the contract that Amazon has. But this gap is going to fill at 210.73. So we're at 206. Maybe if we get above 207, we can go to the 210 calls. Let's keep an eye on the volume there. That's a name that I've been watching now for a minute. Thoughts on Rocket Labs long term? I'd have to read a little bit more about Rocket Labs. So I'm going to just leave it there. But in terms of just the chart, we'll just keep the chart here. The gap, I believe, has been filled, but above 16 would be a really good start for Rocket to go higher. Also, Starbucks Red Cup had their biggest one-day sale. Really? Got a good old Starbucks, man. I'll tell you this, Starbucks, I don't drink their coffee, but they used to have the berry hibiscus refresher. They need to bring that back. If they bring that back, the stock's gonna soar. But they don't got it anymore. So I have to get the strawberry acai. I know. I like what I like. Good news on Starbucks is that you're above the 200-week moving average. Great. So we want to get above at least 105. Then we can target 110. I'll keep an eye on the volume out there, but Starbucks, no pun intended, looking pretty hot. Let's see. Any other questions? Since in USA there's Thanksgiving going on, I was thinking of putting money in Walmart, Costco, etc., or and any airline stocks. Well, here's the deal with that. What's your time frame? Are you just looking to buy and hold forever? Yeah, then it doesn't matter. If you're looking for a trade, you want to make sure there's demand for these names. Yes, Costco is at all-time highs, by the way. So you're buying at the top for now. Walmart has pushed a lot higher. How's this? Would you want to go to Best Buy and buy a TV when they tell you in the newspaper it's up 85%, up 30% in 1 week? Again, up higher price. Would you run to the store and buy it? Probably not. Probably not. You'd want to wait for a discount. The idea is to create your shopping list of stocks that you like and then say, hey, if this stock goes down a little bit and everyone's, seeing red out there's some bad news. I'm going to pick up some Costco or I'm going to pick up some Walmart. I love the initiation right now. I love that that you're pushing through, that you're thinking already ahead. You're kind of lining up the macro and everything. Great. I love that. I love the initiative. But again, right now the pricing probably isn't the best. So we're waiting for a little bit of a discount. Fair. Maybe we get a Santa rally. Maybe we don't. But again, if you see maybe some volatility out there in these names, Costco, Walmart, all these names, yes, Bitcoin will pull back. It's inevitable. The question is, what do you do with it? Do you take advantage of the discount depending on your time frame, or do you wait a little bit? It's really up to the person. But start with a list of names, research them a little bit, tell me what you don't like about them and what you like about them. This is kind of conversations I have with my students on Masterclass. I always start with that first conversation. Hey, what are your expectations? What are your intentions? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish here? Like I said, money just isn't enough. Yes, money's nice, but money isn't enough for you to want to keep pushing when times are not going to be easy. Oh, I just want to trade to make money. Well, you're going to have a tough time when the markets are not complying and you get it wrong and you lose money. Then you're probably just going to quit. You got to have this passion for it and understand that you can accept messing up, accept failure sometimes because it's part of the game. But again, great push there. This idea that you want to go ahead and get this list down. But again, I would say wait for a little bit of a discount. We got another question on Ulta, ULTA. We'll go to the 4-hour chart. We're above the 200 on the 4-hour. Anything on the daily? It's been hit. Ooh, we got a nice gap here, price gap. All right, so 409 is going to be our next resistance. That's the 200 MA. We are now in a death cross. So with a death cross, that means usually the trend is going to continue lower. So let's put 409 or 410 as our level to wake us up, like an alarm clock. Hey, Ulta getting bids. But as of right now, I wouldn't touch this. It's still a downward trend, meaning that you might get lower prices. All right, let's go to YouTube. Good morning, CEO. Hope you and the team is well. Thoughts on how seasonality going into next year will play out, and how do you find stocks with rotations going into New York? When you say stocks with rotations, are you just talking about rotation out of growth and small caps and so on and so forth? That could change literally same day, to be quite honest. You kind of have to understand the hints of the market and what's going to be in demand. Think of it as someone who's a sneaker collector or a sneaker seller, reseller. They got to find the sneakers that are going to be in trend before it happens, because if they're just chasing the trend, it's probably going to hurt their profit margins for the most part. So they kind of have to be ahead of it, in a way. They're going to have to see, what the styles are coming up with. I guess if you ask somebody 10 years ago, do you wear New Balance? They're probably like, no one wears it. But now it's the new rage. Everyone loves wearing New Balance. New Balance has come up. But if you asked a sneaker reseller, 5 years ago, hey, would you want to buy and sell New Balance? They probably would say no. So those who got ahead of the game and actually bought New Balance sneakers or had a great stock of them, maybe a store or what have you, they did very well because they had the foresight to see the change in trend. Again, certain sneakers were gaining a lot of value, certain were not, so on and so forth. So I can't really say in terms of rotations if you can catch it immediately or know exactly when that happens, but you understand the hints. In terms of seasonality, personally, I'm looking forward to a Santa rally. It's been quite an exceptional year. In terms of January, that's where I see where we get a little bit of some profit taking, in my opinion. Probably nearing inauguration. We have front ran a lot of great news, a lot of great positive news. The question remains, as you front run news, expectations go up here a lot higher. And what happens when expectations are not met? Frustration and disappointment. Those two things, frustration and disappointment, lead to stock sales. So be ready for that. How do you see LMT's chart now? All right, we're going to end this one here because I'm running against the clock. The 200 MA, 504. That's what you're looking for. If you can get there, that is your buy area. Thanks for the question, Tara. I'll go ahead and take a look here on Instagram of any other questions so we can end the session here. Anyone? Hi, Carlos. What do you think of Jack and Urban? It's the last one. Jack in the Box. Do they still have the 2 tacos for $1? Because that's bullish. Jack in the Box is pretty ugly, down below the 20-week moving average. So I'd expect a little more weakness. COVID low is 20. Could that be tested? Maybe 28. We'll see. And in terms of Urban, this is the last one. Wish I could talk to you guys forever, but I do got to get back to the Discord. Let's see. Urban. This is Urban Outfitters, really. Okay, started getting close to some resistance here on the daily, right around 48.90. Let's see the weekly. Yep. So again, if you break above 48.90, again 50, and after that, I don't see. Yeah, that's it. That would be your all-time highs on Urban Outfitters. But he's getting close to it. Either break out or reject. Kind of the deal. We'll see what we get. All right, team. Thank you so much for your questions. Have a great rest of your Black Friday. Enjoy some Black Friday shopping. And if you have any questions, I'm on the Discord server. Feel free to shoot me a DM, even if you're someone who's new, even if you're not a paid member. Would love to help. Love talking to you guys every single day. Have a great rest of your morning. We'll see you on the Discord. Cheers.